Oh my goodness. We had I know this last one, the one that's going on today, was really horrible. I think, a lot of people were killed. Prayers for them. Hopefully it's none of your family. Hopefully you're not in that area and stuff. But we actually had a really close call last Monday morning. In fact, one of the houses in our neighborhood is like gone, totally, demolished. So it was like, and it's so weird how it pops up because Bobby was actually overseeing his dad. And if you know my office, I sit like right in front of the window. So it's like, he's like, and I'm working. So I'm not even aware of what's going on. And luckily he called, and then all my tennis girlfriends are like lighting up my phone, telling me what's going on. But boy, the weather is crazy how fast it can change these days and everything that's going on. So, prayers for everyone. Hopefully, none of you or your family or anybody that we know is affected or anywhere near, and prayers for those families. So, but we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're really glad you're all here. LifeVantage has so much going on. It's becoming a full-time job just to keep up with all the really good stuff that's going on with the company. And we couldn't be more excited about it. One of the things that, are you going to bring up a slide, Bobby? I think you said you made a slide. Or one of the really cool things that's going to go on, and hopefully you'll have time. And I know there's so much coming at you. So, we all need to learn to also, manage our time. There's some things you can do if you're part-time in this business. Obviously the number one thing that you need to be doing each day is, let me just mute that one, is being able to, just reach out to new people. Obviously this training is important for you to keep our group what's moving forward. But Tuesday night, the company is doing kind of a special meeting. You can see it's Tuesday night. It's 8 o'clock East Coast time. If you're Mountain time, it's 6 p.m. Your Pacific, it's 5. So you get the idea. Central is 7. They're going to do, and they're calling it a town hall meeting. So it's going to be a little bit different. You're going to have the corporate people on. Kristen's going to be on. Julie Boyster's going to be on. So they're going to be on primarily talking. But one of the things that they're doing too is they're taking questions. So there's a link. We put it in Team Unity Wins, our training group. There's a link in there. If you've got questions, particularly that you want to ask Julie, I don't know if Lisa's going to be on. Julie's a whiz with the products as well. So, if you've got some question with, the mind body or something that you want to ask, go ahead. I mean, we're fortunate. We have all these doctors in this group. So I know anytime I have a question, I just ask one of our doctors what they think about that, or, how to handle that. But you can certainly do that. But they're going to go through a lot of the results that we're getting with the mind body and kind of share. I mean, we all see it on Facebook. We see it in stories. We see it in the weight loss groups. We see it in Lifespan Matters. So we have so many groups, but, some people are maybe a little bit isolated, but I would like to hear the overall picture because, again, remember, this has just been launched out to bigger markets. So we know over in Europe and some other of the countries that we're in, they now have mind body. So the testimonies, and they've had some of those. We had 55, that 55 group. They had a 25 group. They have a 20 group. So the results are coming in from all over the place. So that's going to be super exciting as well. But we're just going to be able to learn more about that. And then they said, I don't know what it is, at the very end of it is some kind of incentive. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be yet. So special incentive will be announced at the end of the call. So, they're doing great things to just help us market continuously. Again, if you've got your subscription for 150, be looking in the back office for your coupons. They'll be there. So, if you've got somebody that you want to help get started and you haven't used, I know Bobby and I go through our coupons in a heartbeat. So I don't think they're giving enough. I'd like more. But anyway, there's coupons there so you can help some people get started and stuff. But it'll be a good call. So anyway, that's Tuesday, March 16th, which is this Tuesday night at 6 Mountain. And again, that's 8 East Coast if you're going by this time. So I know Bobby's got a great training that he's going to go over with us tonight. And I'm excited to hear it because he didn't even share what it was about. Can you imagine? So, so anyway, Bobby, I'm going to pass it back over to you now.
All righty. Yeah, I didn't tonight. So I told April I would cover it tonight. So first of all, we have a number of new people on tonight for the first time. Welcome. And our Sunday night Zoom at 8 o'clock Eastern time is every week, unless there's a big holiday on Sunday. It's every week. If there is a holiday, we'll move it to Monday night instead. But the whole purpose of these Zooms, and for those of you that have enrolled new people, is to make sure your new people know that they get live training every week. And there's two things that is going to go on with the training. There's always going to be a training as part of how to build the business. Okay, just how to do it. There's going to be a lot of how to, but there's also going to be um, making sure that you know what's going on and you're up to date, like April just did. They only announced this town hall Zoom on Tuesday night a couple days ago. It just got, but we get it posted right away. It's in the messenger groups. Okay, it's in the Facebook group, but it's also on the LifeVantage Facebook page too. Okay, so it's
And we're
all
supposed to get an email tomorrow, Bobby, as
in,
well.
in an
So
email going out tomorrow.
yeah.
So, and all you got to do is click the link that you see and you'll be on the Zoom. Okay, so that's all there is to it. But in regards to training tonight, I was thinking about the role that we play in this business. And April and I have been in network marketing now. This is our second company. We were with our first company, as you know, for 25 years. It closed the end of 2017. And, we had a lot of opportunities to go different places, but we chose, to go to LifeVantage. And there were two reasons why. They had the best science, best products, and these activators, and we had never heard of that. And we were in the wellness field for 25 years, and we had never heard of it, which told me there was an amazing opportunity to do business because people hadn't heard of it. But the products was so special and they were patented, and the results and the reorder rates were crazy. I mean, it was just obscene numbers. And, so here we are, for the last 7 years. But in our time being in the industry, there's certain times of the year where business is better. It's just kind of easier to do business and then other times of the year. And we're right in a great time of year to do business. And it's, I the slide says March is here, but it all starts after New Year's, and January through May, okay, is a big time in our industry. And like I said, we're in the middle of March now, the first day of spring. It's hard to believe because some people are getting blizzards, but the first day of spring is, I believe it's the Wednesday or Thursday, March 20th. We got March Madness for you crazy sports fanatics out there is going to be starting shortly. But the big thing, folks, is the outside activities that get us around people is also going to start happening. And there's going to be a long run of that from March all the way through, probably September, October, where the weather's good and you're going to be out around people. And, one of the things that has changed dramatically in our business, I go back when we started over 32 years ago, you really had to be a sales marketing person. And, most of the meetings were live. They were in hotels or we worked out of offices. We always treated it like a corporate business or homes. Those were, it was all in person. There was no Zoom. There was no online. The internet was just getting started. Remember, that's back in the early 90s. Okay. Everyone didn't have a cell phone. The phones were still attached to the wall back then. So it was different. But my training tonight is going to talk to you about what our job is today in 2025. And what I really have learned to appreciate with April and I going through over 3 decades of being in the industry is the adjustments that are made along the way to continue to be successful in the business. And also in looking back, the way our industry has been self-regulating and cleaning itself up and getting rid of the bad apples. You know, and every industry's got bad apples. I don't care if it's accountants, lawyers, doctors, real estate. Every industry's got a few bad apples in it. And network marketing was no different than anywhere else. But the one thing cool about our industry, there's no room anymore for bad apples. They don't fit in anymore. And I love what the industry has turned into. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about tonight. But this is the time of the year to really put the metal pedal to the metal. Okay. And you see where I say the old or new again? Do you realize that somebody that you talked to 2 months ago is new again? Do you know about every 60 days people are new again? April and I have been doing some marketing and advertising. I can't tell you how many people reach back out that, either weren't ready to join us in business or things, sometimes they're just not in enough pain. There's just, not enough negative that has happened for them to consider making a change or whatever it might be. But, those cycles used to be, you'd reach back to people years ago, every year you would reconnect. And now, if you're not reconnecting every couple months, somebody else is going to get them in a different opportunity. Okay, that is what will happen in this industry if you don't stay in touch. Okay, but I don't mean be a salesperson and I don't mean be a weirdo. Okay, I'm not talking about that. Okay, so let me share a little bit about what I mean. Now, 1 week from tomorrow, and you should have this on your calendar. The new people may not know this, but the regular distributors that have been with us for a while do know this. 1 week from tomorrow, March 24th, is our monthly opportunity Zoom, our opportunity launch on Zoom. What is that? That's the 30-minute overview that April and I do live, okay, once a month. And it's an introduction to the products for 15 minutes, an introduction to the business for 15 minutes, and a little advice on how to get started at the end. Okay, that's what it is. And you need to invite, okay, if you want to win, you got to invite people, especially to the live events on Zoom. And I joke about it, but I'm serious when I say it. The replays and the fact that we record them, and we record them, okay, but somebody being on it live versus watching a recording, there's a dramatic difference between the two. Because see, when you're on live, and you saw how everyone, and we'll go at the end, we'll put everyone back on the screen again. It kind of looks like the old Hollywood squares on TV. You're in the movie. You are participating. You're live in the event. You'll see yourself on screen, okay? When you're watching it on replay, okay, you're going to get results in maybe 1 out of 10 or 15 versus, 1 out of 2 or 3. There's a huge difference. So when we do these, your role or your job is to invite. Okay, and I'm going to talk about inviting because it's the only thing that April and I cannot help you with. It's the only thing that your sponsor or your upline cannot help you with. See, we can help with training. We can help with doing presentations. We can help with showing you where the tools are and all of that. The one thing, the only thing that we can't do is invite for you. Okay, we all need to invite for ourselves because I don't know who's in your phone. I don't know who goes to your church. I don't know what your hobbies are. I don't know what you do for fun. I don't know who you know. Okay, so this is outside of advertising, okay, and cold market and all of that. This is, this is what we do when we are having a live event. So you'll get the invitation in two forms. One, will be a clickable live event like you see in the blue and white on the right. And the bottom is the link. Okay, so you can send that as an invitation, and you can also send this here on the left. Okay. So the one on the left, it's just got the Zoom ID number, and anyone that knows how to use Zoom knows. Okay. They just type in that number and they'll be on the Zoom. It's always 8:30 Eastern time when we do these live opportunity presentations. And it's 30 minutes. So it's 8:30 to 9 o'clock Eastern time. So you can use this, or you can use the blue and white one where the link on the bottom will be live. What do I normally do? I generally, if I'm inviting something, I send both. Okay. People like the picture thing, to see a picture, but they also like the easiness of just clicking the link. Okay. They like that. So this is coming up a week from tomorrow. So here's the training, folks. Okay. Please take some notes. Yes, this is being recorded and I'll post it, but what I want to talk about tonight is how we need to become pros, masters at using the tools that are available. We don't want to be the tool. Well, what do I mean by that? Sometimes people just have this desire to things all over another person. And that happened a lot 25, 30 years ago because we didn't have technology. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have videos. We didn't have social media. We couldn't text. The phones were still attached to the wall. So we needed to be the source of information back then because the only thing we had maybe was something on PowerPoint or slides. Okay, so the key to success in building this business in 2025, okay, is to share the tools with lots of people and prospects. The videos, the Zooms, the before and after shareables, your website, three-way calls, three-way text, those are all tools, okay? We don't want to be the tool because here's what happens. If I'm the tool or April's the tool or you're the tool, what do I mean by that? Well, I'm talking to one person and taking 30 or 40 minutes to explain to them what activation is, what NRF2 is, what LifeVantage is, why activation is better than supplements, why our pay plan is the most modern in network marketing, why it's better to be publicly traded than privately owned. It could go on and on. It's endless. Honestly, it would be endless. You want to spend short periods of time with lots of people and prospects. That is the key. It used to be a lot of time with a few people. Now it's a little time with a lot of people. Okay. Well, we get the luxury of doing that because the tools are great and they're easy and they're convenient and you could do it quick. If I get a lead, I got like 7 of them today. I can just click to where my tools are, and they're in 2 or 3 places. I either go to the messenger group, okay, but what I like to do, and you've heard me say this before, the stuff that I use to share with people when they want to know more about the product or business, I have saved it. I text to myself. And I know if I go to my name on my text thread, every tool I ever need is there on my thread, and I can copy and paste and send it to anyone. Okay, so that's where I hide my stuff. Now, we need to create interest or desire in that person and then use the tools. In other words, don't spam people. Okay, don't send them a tool, a video on collagen or GLP-1 or Protandem. Don't send them a Zoom link of an opportunity presentation that April and I did in the past. Don't send that without having spoken with them first and created an interest or a desire in the person to want to see more. Otherwise, it's just junk. You know how when you get email, you know what junk mail is? Well, it could be junk spam. Okay, if you just send it without creating the interest or desire. And a lot of times, all you got to do is let them know you're doing something new. Okay, and that's it. So as I said, we're not the tool. Okay, it's almost impossible to build a big business if you're insisting on being the tool. Okay. There's just not enough time in the day. We cannot afford to spend too much time trying to get someone to join. You know where we spend the time? We spend the time with them after they've made a decision to become a business partner with us. That's where you spend the time, because that's when, all right, somebody made a decision to join. Now you make sure they understand how to be successful. Okay. Even if it's a customer, you don't just love them and leave them as a customer. Okay. Once you get a customer, you continue to follow up with them and make sure they're getting good results, and send them something interesting every once in a while. Okay. April could talk to you about that. She does it all the time. So we should spend as much time as needed with our new consultants when they join us in the business, training, supporting, mentoring, until they're self-sufficient, okay? Until they're familiar with how things work. Now, what is our job in this business, okay? Let's say I just joined, okay? And I love the videos, I love the products. What is it, okay, that I'm supposed to do? Well, there's two things. I need to learn to be a great connector of information. I got to know how to plug information in so people can get it quickly and efficiently. And I need to become a great inviter to Zooms and opportunity presentations, launches, and trainings. Okay, that's what I need to do. I don't need to be an expert on the products. I don't need to be an expert on the pay plan, because I can send that in the form of a professional video that would do a better job than me. Okay, so I don't need to be good. Now, what do I also need to be good at? I need to be a very loyal user of the product. Well, why? So I get results. And then all of a sudden, when I get results, my belief goes through the roof, but I also start speaking from my heart instead of my head. My body knows that the products work. My body is responding. And when you speak to people from your heart instead of your head, that is when they listen. That is when they zero in, because they know it's coming from your heart. Okay. And all of a sudden, they've let the wall down and they don't think you're a marketer and they don't think you're a salesperson. Now they realize you're just sharing truth. And that's a whole different thing. Okay. So you got to be a loyal user of the product so you get results and you could speak from your heart and you don't need to worry about being a scientist. Okay. We have the videos if people like science. Now, this is so important, folks. You need to have everything that you need at your fingertips. What if you just met someone when you were in the supermarket? What if you were sitting next to someone at your kid's ball game or grandkid's game? What if you were just playing golf and you're having a beer in the bar after, after finishing out 18 holes? What if it was just going to be a 5 or a 10-minute connection? You got to be able to go click, click, click and share something or send something if you don't know that you're ever going to see that person again. Okay. I mean, and again, April and I do this, and a lot of folks on here do this, but there's times like we play a lot of pickleball, and you guys know this, we talk about it. And there's times when there's new guests. Okay. And maybe you're sitting out, maybe we're playing on, two courts and there's 8 people playing and there's 2 subbing in and out. Okay. Well, you could have a 5 or a 10-minute conversation with someone that you hadn't met before. And this could happen anywhere. This could happen at church. Honestly, it could happen anywhere. And the thing, hey, where you from? Do you live around here? What do? You got kids, grandkids? How often do you play? You know the questions. Okay. And when somebody shows interest, you need to be able to do click, click, click. So just make sure. And I just posted in the messenger groups and in the Facebook, I just posted our favorite, most used videos. Okay, they're all there now, just posted about an hour ago. And besides that, you got a lot of material on your app that's on your phone. There's a lot of material at hub.lifevantage.com. A lot of people like to save those in their notes. And like I said, my personal favorite, if I know I'm going to use it again and again and again, I just text it to myself and I know it's on that thread. I don't have to go looking anywhere else. Okay, I know it's there. Now, let's do this, folks. Let's start tonight inviting for the March 24th meeting. It's a week from tomorrow. And the process is this: have a conversation with your prospect. It doesn't need to be long-winded. It could be a conversation over text, over the phone, in Messenger, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It could be anything. Have a conversation and then use a tool that you feel is appropriate based on the conversation that you had. That's why I always have about 10 videos ready to go. Did we talk protandem? Did we talk collagen? Did we talk GLP-1? Did we talk money? So I always have those ready to go, okay? And then you send the invitation to the March 24th event. Use the tools. Don't overspend the time explaining and become the tool, okay? Now, you also got to at least follow up the day of the event to remind them to join you. I would normally the night before or the morning of remind them. And just like I do with this, okay, and look, you're all in the business. This is training. This isn't for guests, okay? This is for people in the business. But we forget and we get busy, and there could be a ball game on TV. There could be a lot of things going on. I always send 2 reminders on Sunday. One goes out early afternoon and the other one 15, 20 minutes before we start. So I want to share this with you. April and I, we're working on hundreds of leads from advertising and stuff. And like I said, the tools that we use, including what I call our teaser video that's only about 2 minutes, long, are in the Collagen Picks Messenger group. It's in the group, okay? I posted it today, and that's what we do. People are always asking, what do you guys use? What do you do? Okay, that's what we do. And that's where it is. And you have full access and are welcome, to use that and do that. Okay, it's a business of duplication. And when you bring new people in, that's their tools. And when they bring new people in, those are their tools. And you should plug them in on Sunday nights and plug them in and make sure that they have the tools. And then one last thing, and April mentioned this, you folks that have been around, okay, it's not every month, but it's not uncommon for there to be a promotion as we go into the second half of the month. And Tuesday night, they're going to be doing, the Mind Body, as you know, is our natural GLP-1 activator. And they're going to have a promo following that live event that we can use between Tuesday and the end of the month. Okay, we don't know what it is. Honestly, we don't, because we'd tell you. I don't care. We would just tell you we don't know what it is. So we're going to find out with you. So with that, I want to stop the share, and I hope that you found some of that, if not all of that, helpful. Okay, and what to do. What the big thing is, folks, with the business, you got to keep it simple. And if you do the simple things, connect people to information and invite them to events, you're going to earn money. It's that simple. You're going to earn money. And if you keep it simple like that, the people that you meet are going to be attracted to your business because it was simple and they don't need to be a rocket scientist to do it. Look, a lot of people on here tonight are doctors. And they're brilliant and they're good friends of ours, okay? But April and I have high school educations. We don't want to get asked doctor questions. We don't want to be put in a position where I owned art galleries and picture frame factory, and April was in construction and built homes in the Hamptons, okay? We don't want to get asked scientific questions, but we don't mind sending a video sharing and talking about the science in the product. Okay, so we use the tools that are available so that we can do more business with more people and not have to spend the time doing it ourselves. So, April, you got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, the best thing you can do when you get somebody to agree to be on for Tuesday night is ask them a few different ways that they're going to get them to say yes a few different ways. Can you make it Tuesday night? Does 8:30 work for you? Can you give me 30 minutes? Yes. Okay. Make sure you put it in your notes, put it in your calendar, make sure you've pasted it there. So you're good for Tuesday night at 8:30. Did you do that? I always get them to agree for a few times. The more a person agrees, the less likely they are to not show for you. So I would definitely do that. Make sure they know to be early. Sometimes it's hard to get on Zoom. It always seems when I'm running a little bit late, that's when Zoom wants to update its user categories and stuff, and I'm sure you've all had that happen
Software
too.
updates.
It almost knows like you're stressed because you're late or whatever. So I would tell people to be early. We are on 15 minutes early. So I try to entertain. You guys know, if we can talk just general stuff, love to do that as well. Keep everybody happy that way. But and that reminder, like Bobby said, so important because people are super, super busy. Make sure there's a reminder. Also, don't take for granted they know how to use Zoom. I still, on a daily basis, come across people that have no idea. If it's on their computer and you're sending them a link, that's fine. It'll just load up. But if they're doing it on their phone, they have to download the app, which takes some extra time too. So, make sure the person has been on Zoom. If you have to do a test run with them on how to use Zoom, no shame in that. Not all businesses and stuff use
Zoom is
Zoom. So
free. There's no money involved. Zoom is free.
yeah, Zoom is free. So, people have heard of it maybe, but maybe they've never used it, how to mute or show their camera, unmute, you can do those different things too. The other thing, Bobby showed you the postings with the Facebook. Don't put the Zoom link on Facebook, make them ask so that you know who's showing up as your guest. If you give them all the information, they don't have to ask you for anything. They could just jump on and you have no idea if they're on, particularly with cell phones and stuff. And the same thing with your invite. I wouldn't get into what Protandem does. I'd say, a little bit about the history and what Newsweek said this is, like an innovator of medical science for 2024. This is super, super exciting stuff. I can't do it justice, but you got to get on this Zoom so you can hear what's going on. This is replacing supplements. We're super excited. That's the kind of talk that you want to talk to somebody. You don't want to explain oxidative stress and some other terms that, are just, they can be, hard. People don't know what they are. So yeah, that's just a few things. I hope that helps, but we are excited.
And like I said, for Tuesday night, they just pop this up and they do that all the time. So make sure that, if you're new, well, you're inviting so they can learn more about a natural GLP-1 activator that people are getting great results without having to have a shot, without the shots, okay? And this is part of the business that you've started, okay? This is part of it. Always make sure that the worst thing you could do with a person, we had this happen at a live meeting a few months back, but make sure you invite them and they know what they're going to see and not explaining it, but this is a GLP-1 informative meeting for a natural activator of GLP-1. That's what the meeting is. They're not going to talk business or money. It's not an opportunity meeting. A week from tomorrow, March 24th, that is an opportunity meeting. And we will spend 15 minutes on products, and we'll spend 15 minutes on business. It's a general overview. And, the GLP-1 obviously will be mentioned, but Tuesday night's meeting is all about our new GLP-1. Okay. And if you are in the business and you have some questions, you go to Facebook and they're taking questions and they're going to answer them live. on the air. So if you have questions, type them in on the Facebook page, and a lot of them will be the same. Let's face it, there's only so many questions that you can come up with, but they're looking for feedback from us in the form of questions so they could address it live during the town hall meeting. Okay, so if you got them, put them in. They're on the LifeVantage Facebook page, the invite, and just type your questions in. But is that it for now, April?
Yeah, I think that's great. That was good
All righty.
information.
So
Really
you
good.
will get an email, reminding you Tuesday night, but we've already put the links there so you can see them. So Tuesday is the GLP-1 town hall. A week from Monday is our opportunity meeting. And of course, we'll see you next Sunday night. So have a great night, everyone. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you all. Bye.
Good night.
Good night, all.
Night.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Very